So I'm here with Dr. Steve Eubanks from
Denver, Colorado.
Denver, Colorado. So you've come all the way out to Cosmetex, and you have been obviously speaking to other delegates about the Pico Wave?
Yes. You know, Pico Wave is Syneron Candela's newest laser for treating tattoos and pigmented lesions.
Right. So just tell us a little bit more about sort of, I suppose, some of the benefits and how it's different from some of the other technologies that are out there.
Well, it ends up that what you're trying to do to remove pigment, whether it's a tattoo or a brown spot, is to break it into smaller pieces. It ends up that the shorter your pulse and the higher your energy, the smaller little pieces you can break it into. It actually ends up that with Pico Wave, you can break up the pigment small enough that it's not even visible anymore on the skin.
Great. So how does that compare to like some of the other technologies? Is it faster or is it more effective?
Well, at the moment, the one thing you can safely say is the Pico Wave has the highest peak power. Matter of fact, one of the main competitors, say PicoSure, is 100 million watts less peak power, which sounds a lot when you say it that way. And it also has the shortest pulse, so it's more effective at breaking up pigment.
Great. So in terms of practitioners, if they're considering something like this about putting it into their practice, what would you say would be the best practice in how they would integrate this with other technologies in their clinic?
Well, certainly the best practice for using picosecond lasers, it would be tattoo removals. If that's your primary business, then you absolutely have to have a picosecond laser. And if you're going to buy one, the Pico Wave still right at the moment is by far the best one. Now for other practices, since we now in the US have FDA approval for treating pigment, that expands the uses of this laser.
Now, in the past, a lot of the technologies have struggled sometimes with, some of the colors in the tattoos, like the reds and the blues. How does this compare in terms of the results?
Well, I think one of the important things you have to remember is that no picosecond laser is colorblind. It does not, like they initially said, it does not get all colors. So with the Pico Wave, since it has two wavelengths, it can get red tattoos and it can get black and blue tattoos. They're coming out with another wavelength that will get green, and that covers all the treatable colors. So other lasers that, say, have a single wavelength of 755 can't get red at all.
Right. And just lastly, in terms of, like scarring, that's always a big concern for patients. In the past, obviously, scarring is sometimes quite visible. What about in terms of this technology?
So the advantage of picosecond technology is that you use far less energy. And so there's far less surface damage than there was with what we call Q-switch lasers that are, a billionth of a second versus a trillionth of a second of the pulse. And so and that's where the scarring comes from.
Okay, great. I mean, it sounds a really, exciting new treatment, and I think, it's absolutely fantastic, and it's an honor to be able to interview here today. So thank you very much.
Thank you.